Yeah. Okay. So then, yes, I'm working. I was working basically here in Vaikunth Mehta National Institute of Cooperative Management as a faculty. So in that, then I used to teach principles of agribusiness, entrepreneurship, which includes startup, venture management, then rural development, managing collectives. So like startup, we also have a kind of concept called social startup, which we'll also highlight in this subject. And then there is a course called management of FPO. So I'll also give some brief background about FPO, and then how you also have some kind of business perspective or the career opportunities in this space as well. So that I will also share additionally in this subject itself, right? And then I think since last week or so, I am now working as a visiting faculty in different B schools. So that's how basically I get in touch with through my one colleague, and then that's how I'm here with you, all of you, right? So I'll be dealing on this subject called startup and venture management. So it's very emerging kind of field, right? Startup, very upcoming area. So what I will do today, and then of course the in the next few sessions, uh, we'll have some, first of all, the conceptual understanding, right? Different phases of startup, and then followed by we'll be discussing through a different cases, right? So there are different cases. Some are our own documented cases of some of the startups, some social startups as well. So through those cases, then we'll try to, kind of apply our theoretical knowledge, conceptual understanding on those different cases, and then through that, then try to understand some operational challenges in the success of these startup and venture management. So that's how broadly, I have planned this entire subject, right? And then I was told that we'll be having 15 or so sessions, right? So in that we'll discuss. So that's how I have planned. So now, as far as our today's lecture is concerned, uh, you know, it would be a kind of interaction, more of an interaction, just to understand, first of all, your understanding about this space, this startup venture, whatever you have, and then specifically what we are going to learn in this subject, that I will take you through, right? And then probably if time permits, then immediately we can start with the first aspect of this startup and venture management, that is the idea, right? So we'll start by that. So let me begin with the, so what is startup? So what is your understanding about this startup? Can anybody tell me anything which comes to your mind, whatever you have heard of or read about this startup? Yeah, anybody can unmute and then they can speak, or else you can also put it in the chat box. I don't know how far by sharing screen I would be able to see the chat box, but I'll try. Meanwhile, anyone can unmute and then say something.
Developing new product.
Developing new product. Okay. So it is only mere generic product or something?
Yes, kind of unique product or generic product also.
Okay, unique or maybe generic product. Okay. Anyone else? Your good name, please. Who told this?
Advait, sir.
Generic?
Advait.
Okay.
Advait Pedgaonkar.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Advait. Yeah, it's okay. This is also one important aspect when we talked about startup, where we can begin with some kind of a unique product. Generic product, okay. Generic product can't be a startup. Why it is so? We'll understand. Yeah. Any other? Student? No idea? Whatever it comes to your mind, yeah, startup. Don't Google it, just give candid response.
Same thing, sir, to develop a unique product or services and bring it to the market.
Okay, unique product, services, and then bring it to the market.
Yes,
Okay, good. Your good name?
sir. Ankur.
Okay, Ankur. Okay, so now is there any startup which you know that is okay, such and such startup? This is a startup. So any example? Any example of any space, whether it is any space in a sense, uh, maybe sector wise, agriculture based startup, fintech startup, edutech, educational technology based startup, health startup, anything which you know. And then probably in this pandemic time, I think I'm expecting answer from educational startup. You know, they got a fillip in during this pandemic because everything is shut down, right? And then that's how we are also, you know, learning through this online platform. So who is into online teaching learning?
Udemy.
Sorry?
Udemy.
Udemy. So what they are doing?
They are providing courses of related to business, coding, everything.
Everything related to business, right?
Yes,
Okay.
related
Any
to
other?
business or day-to-day life.
Day-to-day life also. Okay. It is so more of on the kind of day-to-day skill sets which are required, learnings, all those stuff. Business also. So multiple aspects are there. Okay. Any other?
NDIL.
What is that?
Developed by IIT Kharagpur, I think. Just we joined that session previously.
Okay. So
And
you had a
Swayam
session.
also.
Okay, Swayam. Right.
Before Swayam, there is NPTEL, but now in Swayam, everything related to education.
Right. Swayam platform. Yes, exactly.
And
Any other?
Byju's.
Yes,
Byju's,
Byju's.
Vedantu.
Vedantu. Right now, coming up. Right. So, and then that's how. Any other besides this educational startup? So, what is unique in? Okay, fine. I'll come little later that part. You know, uniqueness of these educational startup. Let's say I'll give you one more clue in terms of public transport. In public transport, is there any startup? In transport sector, is there any startup? I'm asking.
Sorry, sir.
In a transport, in a public transport, or in a transport segment, you know, transportation. So in that space, is there any startup?
the Aarti,
What is that? Can you just
the
explain
self-driving
also?
transport system.
Self-driving transport system.
Yes, sir. For urban deliveries.
Okay. To
For urban deliveries, sir.
okay. For it's so it's a delivery based startup.
Yes, sir.
Urban
Okay,
Clap also,
okay.
sir. Urban
Clap. Yes. It's also a kind of startup which are there into you know, transport segment.
Yes.
So what about Ola, Uber? Are they startup?
No, they are old, so that's why they are not startup. They already made their market in India, in
Okay.
metro cities.
Okay.
That's why they are not startup. Zomato also old.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I didn't say Zomato and Swiggy.
Okay. So can you quantify? You are saying it they are old. Okay. So is there any criteria which says that after some period of time, yeah, they can't be called as a startup? There should be some kind of a criteria, right? We should not they just say they are old, so they are not startup, but they are there into in a market, है ना?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's good to go. uh, I'm happy that yes, you people are kind of interacting, and let's then begin with, and then whatever the the common understanding which should be there, so it is there, right? And then you are also aware about some startup as well. So we'll build on this aspect, and then we'll try to also I'll also try to give you some kind of different ideas of different space, particularly since I am agriculture graduate and then having experience in this space. So I'll be give brief about this space, because uh, the idea generation and its validation is the important when we talked about startup. And then that's how I told you that generic vis-a-vis the unique startup, that is the important, right? If it is generic, then there is no any kind of fun in doing that kind of activity. You should have some kind of uniqueness. You may have a generic product, okay? If I go by product per se, you may have a generic product, but within that you should have some kind of USP of that product, right? Maybe just example, and then I will quickly move ahead with the further part of it. Okay. So now consumer, yeah, consumer is the kingpin of this entire marketing business, right? So consumer now they are demanding a traceable product, traceability, yeah. So whatever, and this because of this lockdown and everything now, yeah, home services, home delivery, got a fillip, and such kind of startup, those who are into particularly this extending of these essential services. So whether it is hotel industry related startup, Zomato, Swiggy, and blah blah, right? And you know what? But since first time, I utter a word called blah blah. So the blah blah is also one of the startup. Are you aware of blah blah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, consumer is more of on conscious now. So they want to know from where basically any product or service is coming to my house. So from where, how. So there are some startup, okay, this specifically amongst the crop in. If you Google it, you will get detailed. Crop in Namka one startup, or in case study we can discuss that. Yeah. So in agriculture particularly, right, because the food stuff, the consumer is more aware, more conscious about whatever food stuff they are getting, right? So from where it is, from which farm, from whom, and then what is the distribution channel, all those things he needs to know, right? What kind of a treatment that kind of a fruits and vegetable got in that farm, right? And then how far it is organic, so all those stuff, right? So that cropping, they are providing that kind of a prototype, that kind of a technology to a different business houses, right? Primarily the manufacturing company, or maybe those who are into export. So they are giving their prototype, and then that's how all those record they are, putting in that database. And then that's how by scanning QR code, we are able to make a payment like that. By scanning QR code, that consumer, he or she, would be able to understand the details of that particular given product, right? So in that context, basically, even if it is same product, if you provide this kind of additional facility, that makes some kind of a unique, and then for which you can charge higher prices as well, right? So that's how. Okay, and then further we'll go in detailing of those uh, generic vis-a-vis uniqueness of the product, right? So the startup. So startup is fairly a new entrepreneurial venture, a fairly new, right? So within that now, fairly new ka detailed criteria also in next slide would be discussing. Venture or a company. So venture or a company. So can sole proprietor, be a called as a startup? Sole proprietor. If I have an idea, right? And then I have not registered it as a, under any of the legal entity, right? If it is only a sole proprietor, right? So in that case, this would not be called as a startup, right? So in our curricula, in our this subject, we'll also try to understand what are the different forms of legal entity, right? Different forms of company under which any entrepreneur can register his or her business, right? So that is also very important, which legal entity should be selected. Company which aims to meet a marketplace needs by developing or offering an innovative product, process, and services. That this is more important actually, and that is where we'll be spending more time on this aspect in this subject, so that you would be better prepared to understand and then to think through a different perspective, so that you can come up with some kind of an innovative business idea which you can test, which you can experiment. That's what we call it in a business language, validation, right? So that will give considerable time on this aspect, and then based on that you may come up with different product, process, service, right? All those stuff. So I think in all the aspects, I think we have discussed the examples, product, process, and service, right? So the Government of India ka definition now I'll be discussing, right? That is a kind of acceptable definition in India. So any company working to solve a problem where a solution is not obvious, and that's how, and success is not guaranteed. So we have a many startup basically, but the success rate is hardly less than 10%. Yeah. So let's first try to understand the definition, the Government of India ka definition. So the startup is any a registered enterprise, or registered in a sense it should be a legal entity, right? So there are different aspects of legal entity. Primarily it is Indian Companies Act, which comes under Ministry of Corporate Affairs, right? Where we have a registrar of companies. So they regulate this Indian Companies Act, right? And then besides that, we also have these a Partnership Act, then Limited Liability Partnership Act, right? Then single person company is also one more aspect. So it is just advanced version of sole proprietor. Sole proprietor, it's just only not a registered. I got idea, okay, I want to do this a business. Let's say maybe, I'm just giving example, not startup per se, but maybe let's say example, a dairy business. So in my area, I have find out that there is no any dairy. Yeah. So people are struggling to get a milk, wherever I'm locating in Pune city, let's say, right? So what I will do, I will, start a dairy, so, and then I'll start to, distribute maybe a packet or liquid milk in my locality. Could be one of the aspects, right? So today I thought of to start, and then I have pumped my own fund, started. And then tomorrow I felt that, okay, that's fine. There is no any fun in doing this business, and then there is no any much margin. So let's close it down. So nobody is asking me to start, nobody is asking me to close down, right? So sole proprietor, and just advanced version is single person company, which is legal entity, right? So all those aspects, its advantage, disadvantage, we'll discuss in detail. The point is, the startup should be a registered, it should be a legal entity, More importantly, now, second aspect you can see, working towards innovation, development or improvement of products or process or services, which is the existing market, they are not able to capture that kind of a business potential in that given segment, right? Sector wise sector, it may varies. So any entrepreneur can identify the gaps in existing market or within the market, in any product segment, in any process or any service segment. And that's how, in example I asked particularly in public transport. So we know how public transport system across country, right? So that's how the Ola, Uber, and then within the city we have this blah blah, urban club, and then so and so, S ride, right, which local transport ke liye, right? So these are the, based on the idea of this Uber, Ola, these are the city based application came, in existence, because there is a gap. They have found out that kind of a gap in their locality, and then that's how they are reaping the benefits of that gap, right? Service based startup. Most importantly, right, within these startup, which is the most important, the scalability part of it, that is the replication of that same business in a different pockets or different area, geographical area, right? So scaling up is also very much important in the case of this startup, right? Okay, which should not be a, which startup, okay, which is not startup, if any firm or entity formed by a splitting up or a reconstruction of existing business activity, that can't be called as a startup. That's how basically the definition of this startup, which government of India they have adopted. Now quantified criteria, right? Someone said so that that is the old and so on and so forth. So the quantified criteria is, if a startup started and then if it cross a turnover more than 100 crore, then that startup would not be called as a startup. That would be called as a full-fledged kind of well-established kind of a company, right? Maybe any kind of legal entity under which they have registered. So as per that, they would be called maybe a single person company or partnership firm, right? Or maybe it's a typically private company, right? So that would be called. And then if it is not in terms of turnover, if based on the a number of years of existence of that a startup, based on that the criteria is 10 years, right? So whichever is the comes first, if company cross the turnover within before the 10 years, then of course from then onwards that can be called as a full-fledged company, not as a startup, right? So this is the fundamental definition of these startup. Now the public transport, the educational startup that we discuss, but since my core competency and then area of expertise in these agri-tech and fintech, and why it is so, for that also I have a kind of a logic. In this pandemic time, I think everybody has understood, yeah, maybe a layman or maybe a big industrialist businessman, everybody has understood that the agriculture, and then thereby now, which is now being called as an agribusiness, yeah, agri-based business activity, that has a potential, right? Because or most of the sector got hampered because of this pandemic, but agriculture, yes, impacted, but not to that extent to vis-a-vis to other sectors primarily which we have. It is manufacturing service sector, right? So our India ka national accounting system works on these three broader segment dimension. One is agriculture allied sector, then manufacturing, and then industry, based on which only our gross domestic product and GNP, national accounting system, they calculate. Okay, so let's not get into that. But yes, agriculture. So agriculture and agribusiness space has the potential to, track back on our Indian economy. So now everybody's realized, and then it is kind of ever growing sector, right? So I would be giving more, understanding on this space. So it is just only uh, same logic applies. They have the entrepreneurs, they have identified some kind of gap in product, process, market segment, service segment, and based on this they have come up with some kind of a solution which they called it as a agri-tech startup, right? So broadly it is agriculture value chain based startup. So I just would like to know, uh, are you aware about any agri-tech startup? Just matlab, for my understanding. Yeah, so over to you, student.
Adani Green.
Sorry,
Adani Green.
green you are talking, which matlab,
Yes,
your voice is breaking.
Adani Green.
Adani Green. So what they are doing? So just matlab, explain some, give brief.
Solar panels. Solar panel.
Okay, so they
that
are
the startup
offering.
for them. Yes.
Okay. Adani Green. Okay, so they are offering solar panel, right? Okay,
Yes.
great. Any other? So in rural area, there is a lot of problem of this electrification. Yeah. So from government of side, they are trying, but now since we are heading towards to achieve a sustainable development goals. Uh, have you heard of this sustainable development goals? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
Yes.
can you say something on that?
Solar panels, I told you.
No, yeah. Before that, I'm coming to that. Sustainable development goals, I'm asking.
Okay. Solar panels are not in sustainable goals.
Directly, it is contributing to achieve sustainable development goals. Okay, so that separate discourse. But in sustainable development goals, right, we are giving more focus on environmental sustainability. Uh, uh, Before these sustainable development goals, there are, a millennium development goals were there, MDGs. So eight MDGs were there, were focused more on uh, woman empowerment, or rather on within that woman empowerment, it is on the health and reproductive system of the woman. So there are a lot of issues in terms of health and maternal health and child, on all those stuff, health and sanitation stuff. So all those MDGs were there, which is now kind of further expanded in 2015 onwards, right? So 190 nations, including India, adopted those sustainable development goals. So there are 17 different sustainable development goals are there. Within that, a lot of effort, lot of emphasis on the environmental sustainability, right? So from that point of view, basically now each and every industry now giving more focus on how best they can map their activity, their business activity vis-a-vis with the sustainable development goals. So this solar panel is also one of the kind of such intervention, because problem is there in rural area in terms of electrification, because of which the irrigation water and all those, already there is a problem of irrigation water, but wherever there is available irrigation water, but they don't have a electricity in maybe during daytime. So it varies with village to village, district, state to state, right? So such kind of a solar panel, lot of people, lot of industry people, they are giving more focus on, particularly these big corporate houses like Adani, Ambani, Tata, Birla, and so and so, right? So as part of their CSR activities, basically they are investing on such kind of activity, or plus through their own foundation they are also venturing into, right? Just since we are talking about this, so like just one example, because each and every sector is a separate, it's a separate discourse, and it's a very in-depth, we need to go to understand further in detail. But just we are touching base just to understand different sector. Like let's say a steel industry, right? Within the steel industry also they are now facing a problem in terms of because the clean energy, environmental sustainability, as I told you. So a lot of climate change, the kind of climate change a global issue which we are facing, and which has impact on different sectors. Sector by sector it varies, but yes, primarily on agriculture we have a lot of impact of this climate change, right? So so from that point of view also, a lot of agribusiness industry, different players, they are talking about how they can reduce the carbon emission, right? CO2 emission. So as I told you, the steel industry, you know what, so these are mining, right? Mining industry, so they are contributing around 4 to 5% in the emergence of this CO2, right? So a lot of efforts now government is giving on a green energy, right? So in that space, basically, to achieve that kind of a sustainable development goals, each and every sector, each and every agribusiness houses, big corporate players, they are giving more focus on how basically they can minimize the environmental risk, right? So that's how uh, this sustainable development goals, from there basically we gone out of track. But yes, solar panel, because we are trying to achieve that kind of a sustainable development goal as far as green energy is concerned. And that's how, in let's say take one more example, in within the transport industry now, people are now talking about the electric battery operated vehicle, right? Already they are they are there in the foreign countries, right? But as in India still, because still we are talking about biofuel, how we can use biofuel, bioethanol, right? All those stuff we are talking about now, right? But yes, in the future these train are going to come in India as well, right? Already particularly let's say where the the sugar cane is the prime source of these uh, bioenergy or bioethanol or biofuel, all those stuff, right? Plus whatever the agriculture waste or whatever, irrespective of whatever the waste are there, based on that bio mass product, all those stuff are going on. So such kind of startups are also there, those who are into converting these kind of a waste into a biomass, right? Based on the sugarcane production, we have a lot of sugarcane factories, right? Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, they are leading, Tamil Nadu, right? So now these sugarcane factories are are ministry, right? Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji has already instructed all the sugarcane factories that you should also go for these kind of uh, bioethanol production, right? So such kind of things are now are going in this space, agri-tech. Okay, now coming back to next, fintech. So is there any fintech startup, financial technology based startup, which you are aware of? Fintech startup. So that means this startup are into financial space, the agri-tech startup into agriculture space, agriculture value chain, right? Like the example I forgot to discuss, okay, fine, solar panel, but uh, in the marketing, actually I would be discussing more on this, but for the marketing of agriculture products during this lockdown, many entrepreneur or many agri-tech startup got registered during last 1.5 year, right? Since the COVID pandemic, this COVID menace started in India. So a lot of people, entrepreneurs, voluntarily they came forward, and then what they have done, just only they have procured from a number of farmers those different fruits, vegetable, agro stuff, and then they have provided to consumers in urban cities. So initially, most of them they have done it through kind of as a pilot, just manually, just procuring from the a number of farmers and then giving in the to the urban consumers. But of late, most of them they have started, they are developing some kind of application, right? And then they are getting some kind of a demand, and then that's how they have streamlined and then back end process. So as per demand, then only that much they procure, because agriculture stuff is perishable, right? So we should have that kind of a system through which basically you can maintain the optimum temperature, right? The for product to product it may varies. So as per demand you can procure, so you can minimize your loss, and then you can transfer. So like that, many startups came during this pandemic period as well. So very famous startup in this space, Ninja Cart. So you can also Google it, you will get to know. Then Farm Taza. Name indicate Farm Taza, just only they have a prototype, procuring from a number of farmers and then supplying it to the consumer. So we call it as a supply chain startup. So within the agriculture startup, so there are 350 plus startups are there as of now in India. So out of which more than 60% they are into supply chain itself, that they have their own system, right? So they have a prototype, they have their own system in terms of the collection center, where basically they are procuring from a number of farmers, doing cleaning, grading, sorting, and then giving it to the consumer through their own application, maybe through website or maybe through their app, through which they are generating demand and then they are extending, providing.
Like, sorry, sir, like Big Basket, right?
Yes, Big Basket is also one of the kind of, but it called as a, they are into agri retail, right? Yes, Big Basket rightly said, right? But they have crossed that kind of a limit. So which this kind of a Big Basket and then Reliance Fresh, all those stuff, we call it as a agri retail industry. So when we talked about agriculture industry, or let's say agri business industry as such, so here itself I'll just would like to give some basic understanding. Agri input industry is one of the sector of agri business industry, like seed business, the fertilizer, chemical, insecticide, pesticides, right? Here itself we can also talk about the equipments, mechanization part, like maybe you may be aware Bayer Crop Science, VNR Seed. So there are so many seed input companies are there, right? So similarly, yeah,
can we
please
say
go ahead.
contract farming also come under this? So just asking.
Contract farming comes under which, what, startup?
Fintech, yes, fintech startup.
No. Contract farming is it's a concept, basically. It's a concept, right? So we'll be discussing that. But the fintech is completely altogether different, right? So contract farming we can have a discussion separately, right? When we talking about the agriculture space, what are the opportunities are there in agribusiness, agriculture? So in that I would be discussing contract farming, right? So that the startup can also venture into, or startup can use this contract farming concept to do their business activity, right? So from that point of view I would be discussing. So let me finish this first, and then I'll come to the fintech. So agri input industry is there, then the agro retail industry is there, right? So, and then third is the BFSI, that is banking, financial services and insurance. So this BFSI segment जो है, BFSI sector जो है agribusiness industry का, or in general BFSI is also there in general, you know. So within the agriculture, there are specific financial institutions, those who specifically works for the agriculture, and then there are generic financial sector is also there, like our public sector banks, private sector banks, right? All those. But specific agriculture के लिए, public sector bank also gives loan to farmers, right? Agriculture, agribusiness industry, but specifically that is the credit cooperative societies are also there, right? So which is more of on the social kind of startup, right? Social enterprises, rather, I will put it. Okay. So in that BFSI segment, right? BFSI sector, this fintech startup comes because within the financial institution, there are so many problems are there, and because of which, despite, you know, our public sector banks are also there, right? Like your SBI, Bank of Baroda, ye kya hai? These are the public sector banks, right? So let's not get into those. I think in financial subject, I think you would be having that kind of orientation, or I think already those kind of session must have started, right? So public sector bank, then private sector bank also are there, right? ICICI, SDFC, and so on and so forth. Then this market is very huge, and these public private sector banks are not able to kind of, you know, meet the demands because of set procedure, SOP, all those stuff. Because of which, now we also have a non-banking financial companies, NBFCs, right? So to begin with, during initial part, NBFCs can also be called as a startup. Same criteria applies. Yeah, 10 years old, 100 crores rupees business, right? So NBFCs. Then microfinance institutions are also there, like Swatantra microfinance companies, right? Then we also have a small finance companies, right? So these are the you know, emerged during last, I think, max 2 or 3 decades. These new type of financial institutions came into existence, that is microfinance institutions, NBFCs, right? So within that, just only one example and then I'll go ahead. Fintech, you know, these particularly these fintech guys, they have identified the problems in this space from the point of view of these so-called public sector banks, even private sector banks, but private sector banks have their own kind of prototype. So in the case of public sector banks, they have very rigid or very you know, complex procedure, and then you know, so many documentation, and then physical verification, you know, if you apply for educational loan, if you apply for any kind of loans for that matter. So they have, because it is needed, right? To, but the technology can minimize all those workload, all those documentation part, all those, even for that matter, physical verification, all those stuff, right? So the fintech guys, they have come up with their own prototype through which basically they are kind of you know, scanning a borrower like anything, right? And then they give some kind of a score, though we have a CIBIL score, right? But beyond that also, these fintech guys, they offer some kind of, you know, score through which any funder, whether it is, you know, the bank, or whether it is any angel investor or venture capitalist, which will be discussed in detail in this subject, right? What kind of this angel investor and then venture capitalist, I think you must have heard this terminology, but yes, we'll be discussing. So whosoever wants to fund, so they can register on that kind of their own platform, and then borrower also can register on their platform, and then that platform can provide that kind of a score to funders. Funders can see, funders can then decide, okay, how much to give this person. It's all happens online. So I'm talking about one very important startup which RBI recently has recognized. Initially, it was started as a peer-to-peer, P2P learning platform, lending platform, sorry, P2P. It is also one more kind of a concept, peer-to-peer lending platform, which was started as a startup, financial startup, and then registered as a non-banking financial company, and then got that kind of a Philip. RBI also recognized, and then given that kind of a non-banking financial company ka license, right? FairSend. You can Google it, you will get a detail. So it's very good startup. We can have during case studies, we can discuss further in that space, right? That case study. Fair FinTech. So that is the whatever the gap is there within the financial BFSI sector. So such kind of a startup, they are identifying that gap and then developing their prototype, right? So that's how the FinTech startup. Okay, now let's quickly, already time is over, but I'll just take now 10 minutes and then we can finish this today's topic. So now just social startup. So have you heard the social startup? Okay, if it is yes, so you can share the example. Or prior to that, what do you mean by social startup? Any idea? Just quickly, yes or no? Anybody?
Social startup is any kind of product you want to launch on through social media, like Instagram or Facebook. Just bluffing, not sure that.
Then fine. Fine. Perfect. Fine, dear. Yeah. Fine. So okay, you I think social that attracted you fine towards social media, but this social media is kind of again digital tools. So there are so many social media. So these are the digital tools for marketing, which is widely and commonly known as, or called as rather, digital marketing. Okay, so that is different discourse, that is a separate thing. Okay, it is just a use of a social media for a marketing purpose. Okay, so the social startup is more of on this is startup or the product, process and service which is more of on working for the social cause. That is the philosophical ground I'm talking about now. There are so many issues are there, whether it is, let's take one example and then I'll click move forward. There are so many examples. In due course of time we would be discussing, right? Social welfare department hota hai na hamara, right? Social welfare department, ministry bhi hai, right? So age old ke logon ke liye a lot of pension schemes are there, right? So maybe, and then there are so many issues. So this kind of a social startup, we can say it is fintech, but having the social cause behind it. तो उनके लिए क्या होता है ना, they have a lot of problems in terms of going to a banks, then फिर वो cross check करो whether my pension comes or not, so many issues are there. So these guys, they have developed some kind of a product prototype where they have registered all those, and then on their mobile they get some kind of a detailed information, and then through that they can also transact. So it is broadly a fintech startup, but have a social angle. So any startup which is there for profit purpose, so of course social startup is also for profit, because you need to have a revenue model, then only you can achieve all those social aspects. So if you, why I'm giving this lens, because this adds some kind of a value, and then there is a chances of getting funding is more. So if you have some kind of a logic behind your product, service and then process which is catering to a social issue, right, then you will have a more chance to get a funding. Like, the solar panel could be also a kind of a, you can say, a social startup, where actually I am trying to minimize these carbon emission, or I'm minimize, promoting a green energy, right? So it's a social issue, right? So like that, within that social startup ka the actual meaning, right, that is where you will find a lot of community ka participation, so that, or the people who are suffering from that, they are coming together, and then they are floating some kind of a company, so that they are addressing their own needs. So that is also kind of a social startup. So here I'm trying to give you that kind of a perspective. uh, uh, I think you, let's take an example now. Amul, have you, Amul pita, doodh pita hai India, right? Amul, it's a social startup. So advanced version of this cooperative model. So Amul is cooperative ka, sahkarita ka model. And then recently, last week only, this present government announced a separate ministry for these cooperatives, right? Amit Shah ji is the minister. So within that space, the farmers producer organization, you must have heard nowadays, a lot of government, they are now promoting these FPOs. So what is that? So farmers, they are coming together, uh, and then they are solving their own problems in terms of whether it is getting inputs for their respective farming, or whether it is aggregation of their agro produce, and then under common brand, and with that scale, they are maybe giving it to the retail houses like Big Basket, Reliance Fresh, or could be any B2B segment, or maybe B2C segment, directly consumer. So wherever there is a community participation to address their own common problems, could be called as a social startup. So we'll be having a detailed discussion on this social startup as well, right? Now comes to the important point. After this basic understanding startup per se, its definition, social startup, and then little bit example which we discussed today. So what we are going to learn in this subject, and then at the end, I would be happy if you have any suggestion or any aspect also which needs to take care in this subject, so that I'll try to manage it. So first of all, since startup and then this venture management in this space, in this subject, so broadly we are talking about entrepreneurship segment. So I don't know whether entrepreneurship per se, if you have a separate subject. So initially we'll have some kind of entrepreneurial orientation, and then a promotional ecosystem, that is broadly entrepreneurship promotion. A startup is one part of it, right? So broadly entrepreneurship promotional ecosystem we'll be talking about, right? So just to have a foundational understanding of this space, and then what is the role of government of India, what are those different schemes, program, all those stuff. And then we'll be coming to this, a key aspect of this subject, that is the idea identification, its validation, which is generally in terms of different stages of the startup and venture management, we say it is pre-seed and seed stage. So we would be giving more focus on how basically we can identify a business idea, how we can convert into a a business potential viable idea, right? How we can validate that. So all those nitty gritty of all those stuff we'll be talking. So sector by sector it varies, right? So as I told you, I would be talking more from agri-tech and fintech startup point of view. So agri-tech, agriculture, agribusiness space, financial space. Within that space, what are the business opportunities are there? I will be talking more on that, right? And then how we can validate that. So there is a fundamental understanding which we need to have, that is the detailed plan report, detailed project report vis-a-vis a business planning, right? So because after all, without business plan, we can't proceed further. So we'll be talking detail about how to prepare a detailed project report, which is for the founder, and then a business plan is just a subset of detailed project report which we can present to funder, to funders, right? Then finance and legal space. So within that finance and legal space, we'll be discussing more upon the implementation of this business idea. So how we can proceed, so what kind of a legal entity we should get registered, so all those stuff. And then how we can build a team, that is entrepreneurship, leadership, all those stuff we are talking about, that is founder, co-founder, and then how we can have our own team. So what are those different aspects best which as a founder I need to think through to build on my team, right? And then finance ka basics. So this business planning and then this finance ka basics, which is more important, it will go hand in hand. And then last but not least in this, that is the pitching and funding, which is more important, how exactly and where exactly I need to pitch and how to present. So that's how I have thought of to deliver in these upcoming sessions. If you have any suggestion as far as the methodology is concerned, in terms of delivery or in terms of content, so you are most welcome. So that's all from my side as far as our today's session is concerned. So over to you, student.
It's fine, sir.
Okay, perfect. In terms of methodology, delivery.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, there is one
Okay.
request. After each topic, could you give us MCQ or related to that? So our exam is based on MCQs, right? So we will
Okay,
get to
okay.
know. So
So
because
you
this
are more
subject
about,
is quite difficult, kind of. That means they
no,
ask for. So it's
it's not
interesting, but
difficult. Yeah,
it's
that
interesting,
is
and
more
there is lots
important.
of questions. There is lots of question, I think,
No, no,
related
no.
to this
See.
content.
Let me clarify. So don't worry about MCQ. I you see, abhi chalo time nahi hai itna, but you give more focus on a conceptual understanding and then ground reality. Okay, and based
Okay.
on that only, okay. So maybe I have touch upon a lot of different sectors just to give you that kind of a overview, that kind of a perspective, just to think through from a wider perspective, right? Because that is more important to venture into this segment. So I'm giving you the perspective and teaching from the point of view of that, okay, at the completion of this your MBA, you should be in a position at least, ki you will have that kind of a clarity if you want to venture into this entrepreneurship domain. That's what my intention. So let's not worry about your assessment part. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay,
Okay, sir.
give more focus on learning part. Okay, and then
Yes, sir.
my slide would be a kind of a self-explanatory. Okay, so and beyond my slide or whatever I'm teaching, talking, beyond that you will not get any multiple choice question. So if you are attentive in my class, then you would be in a position to answer that multiple choice question. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, then any other suggestion from content point of view? Is there anything which you need to add? I need to add. So you just think
More
about it and then
examples.
you can give suggestion. Yes, please.
Lot of examples.
Yes, example I should increase.
Yes.
Okay, take you
That's
fine.
it from my side.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
very much.
perfect. Yeah. So we'll be having example, but as I told you, the methodology which I'm going to have. First, we'll have a basic conceptual understanding of course, in that discourse, I will be discussing some cases. Through that only I'll discuss, and then separately through different case studies, we'll try to understand the operational challenges. Yeah. So I think thank you very much. We'll meet I think on Saturday. Yeah, same time.
Okay, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, sir. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.